Hello, happy Mother's Day, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, I am representing Northern Arizona. Gotta represent my babies. And I am an NAU mom. So I have a big black cat sitting in front of me. So just bear with me while I get myself situated here. It's a little hard to see half the screen. All right, so we're getting ready to do the full moon in Scorpio forecast. I am a little late here. I was a little late for my Patreons as well, so I do apologize for getting on here so late. But we do have this beautiful full moon on Monday, May 12th at 12:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Many in the USA call this the flower moon due to the blooming season of many flowers this time of year. There's also there is also the milk moon, which this moon is also called because it comes from the Old English term Rimil Simona. I don't know if I'm saying that right, which translates to three milking months. So the months of May, June, and July are considered the three milking months where cows seem to produce the most amount of milk. And let's see, where am I? And I got that from Google. So in some Native American cultures, though, this was called the corn moon because this is when they began doing their corn planting, or called it the corn planting season. And let's face it, flowers have always been a symbol of this season, with renewal, with growth, with widespread blooming and flourishing. The earth is fertile, it's abundant, and it's productive, just like Scorpio energy. Now, this full moon will be infused with tons of sexual energy, both good and bad. Scorpio is the ruler of the eighth house and rules the reproductive organs. It rules sexuality, investments, taxes, corporate money, insurance, medicine, morgues, cult, and witchcraft, the underworld. This rules police, CIA, FBI, Department of Justice, rules the mafia. It rules investigations, but especially paranormal ones. Now, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and this is the planet of life, death, rebirth, transformation. And there are always two kinds of Scorpios in this world. There are the ones who soar like an eagle of the zodiac and excel in investigations and the metaphysical, deeper occult knowledge, medicine, and investments, and will always have a keen eye for spotting out the liar. It's one thing I know Scorpio hates is a liar. The second type of Scorpio, here he goes. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, Christopher, how are you, my brother? I'm waiting for the fat cat to leave. Now he's just going to sit here with his butt in the air. Oh, jeez. I hope you're doing well, Christopher. Okay, I can see again. Let's go back and see where I was at. The second type of Scorpio in the zodiac is the lizard. So there's two kinds of Scorpio, soaring like the eagle or being like the lizard. And anytime, now what? Stop it. These souls thrive on revenge. All right, make up your mind, do something, go. Sorry about that. The second type of Scorpio is the lizard, and these souls thrive on revenge, jealousy, hate, and even substance abuse. Now, with all that being said, this is not to sit there and offend Scorpio in any sense of the way, but Scorpio, soar like an eagle, okay? It's my best advice. The full moon is not going to be about going out and celebrating, but more about spending time in more intimate surroundings, away from crowds and the public in general. The Platonic phase begins on May or around May 12th. I can't give you the full dates. That's for Patreon. And this is where secrets are exposed and come to light. Someone rich and famous could pass away, and this is where fraud can happen. This energy will bring headlines of sex crimes, cybersecurity issues, cyber wars, and violence and chaos in general. Now, on May 10th, which was yesterday, Mercury moved into Taurus, and it's all about money, finances, and security. This is also a time to keep a good eye on your own finances, as these stars can bring bank, crypto, and credit card fraud. It can bring identity theft and issues with unhinged souls. It's very important to watch what you say and do around others, especially around May 12th, because we have a terrible square. We may have the full moon in Scorpio and right in the epicenter of a Platonic phase, but we also have a square between Mercury, which is in Taurus, and Pluto, which is in Aquarius. Now, this will bring all the evil, the vile, and unhinged souls out of the woodwork. They flourish in this energy. They will be argumentative, they'll be harsh, they'll be curt, and they'll be filled with very bad intent. I did not put this in the newsletter, but I want you to refer back up to where this square is taking place. It's in Mercury, which is communication. Mercury's in Taurus, which is about finances, security, money, and beauty as well. And it's squaring with Pluto, the planet of chaos and drama and wake-up calls, in Aquarius, which is radical changes. So radical changes to speech. So with that being said, many of us will receive a wake-up call of some sort within this moon phase. And if we do not follow those universal laws of the stars, we can face drama and chaos and even death, because Platonic souls, like I said, one more time, come alive in this phase. So beware. Now, on a more positive note, it will be all fixed signs, the water signs. On a more positive note, it will be all the water signs that feel this moon strongly and extremely magnetic, but can attract the wrong attention. However, it will be all souls born with a sun, moon, ascendant, or dragon's head and tail in Scorpio that feel this energy the strongest, and we'll see many transformations. We will all feel like diving deeper into a good book, studying something within the metaphysical realm, and just spending time with lovers, as sex is the energy mantra to these stars right now. I am doing well, and I am drawn to the show. My dreams have been vivid and wild the past couple of days due to... Yeah, mine too. I've had some really bizarre encounters lately. I'm not going to get into them here, but almost like visions. And I wasn't in my own subconscious either. I was awake and seeing them, which was a little more disturbing. It's a little disturbing. This happened like 3 days ago. I'll explain it to you later. All right, since we are in a Scorpio full moon, I will give Scorpio's forecast. Now, this full moon is right on you, Scorpio, and you can either go with the flow or face a wake-up call within your own world. Many Scorpios questioning their purpose in life, as this moon sits right on you, first house of self, soul's purpose, appearances, beginnings, and first impressions. Now, drama always seems to find a Scorpio, so it is advised to steer clear of any heated arguments, drama, or gossip. And many Scorpios are very much prone to being sucked into dramatics, even if they don't want any part of it. Like I said earlier, You have two choices: be the eagle of the zodiac and rise above it, or be the snake lizard and fight, create drama, and spread lies. These next few weeks are to regroup, recuperate, ground, and remain level headed. Positive transformations are ahead. Just be patient. What you want to do right now, what we always do in a waning moon phase, is bring things to completion, rid ourselves of what no longer serves our greatest good. So hang in there, Scorpio. You've got this, okay? Now, these next few weeks are going to be brutal. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Just watch the news and you'll see what I mean from the 12th through the 25th. Um, the news will be brutal, it'll be violent, it'll even be shocking. There will be lots of drama, chaos, and even death. May 12th full moon has added energy because it's being in a Platonic phase, and having a square between Mercury and Taurus and Pluto and Aquarius can indicate for all of us arguments over money, dealing with people with harsh speech, harsh words, and even violent intent. So hence why you always watch your surroundings, watch your bank accounts, lay low, and stay home. It's my best advice. May 20th is under Uranic energy and will produce shocking news, space and aeronautical events, bizarre news, paranormal, ETs, UFOs, Asia makes headlines, eruptions, explosions, earthquakes, science discovery, and innovations is possible. I mentioned this before, and I don't know if I mentioned it on the public platform more than I did on my Patreon platform, but in my Patreon's free newsletter, where you can go and join patreon.com/astrostrega, I posted a newsletter. I mentioned this before, but it is really worth reading the CNN article that's attached to this, and it is talking about the underwater volcano off the coast of Oregon. Remember, I've talked about this before. It's on a subduction zone between the Pacific Ocean plate and the San Juan de Fuca plate in the Pacific. And this article is saying that it's getting bigger and bigger, and the gases from under the sea are coming up. But it's the underwater volcano off the coast of Oregon does not worry me, but scientists say there is nothing to worry about. It does worry me. Should we believe them? According to this article, I'll let you go read it for yourself, but they're saying it's nothing to fear and nothing to fret. I don't know about that. That kind of worries me. But like I said, it does worry me, but scientists are saying that there's nothing to worry about. You read the article and decide for yourself, should we believe them or not? Moving on, May 25th does bring some financial news and some semi-Platonic energy once again. Crypto market should continue to rise unless something major happens globally. However, the American economy is in a free fall right now. The dollar is shrinking. They're not going to tell you this. You're not going to hear this on the news. No news. I don't care, Democrat or Republican. You're not going to hear it. But the dollar is shrinking, and as less and less countries begin to trade in something other than the American currency or dollar. I knew that with Uranus in its final breath. What are you doing, sir? Let's just turn that off before he breaks it. I kind of knew that with Uranus in its final breath in slow moving Taurus, that it would be the last few months before it shifts that you'd start seeing things moving and shaking. So May, June, July, the money markets are going to start to peak, and Mother Earth begins to come alive. Uranus moves into Gemini. I put July 7th, I believe it's July 8th, 2025. I will correct that for Patreon. It will shift into Gemini where it's a lot more comfortable. We'll talk more about that at a later date, but we're starting to see the money part of things ramping up, and that's very common when Uranus sits in money oriented Taurus. Taurus is slow moving, so last 3 months makes perfect sense. I want you to use these next few weeks to practice your spirituality, your craft, whatever, etc. Being around less people, especially strangers, will be best. Stick with close friends and family. The news will be bad, so expect it. Expect it. It will be bad. Your home is going to be your sanctuary. Spend time within its protective walls and have a blessed full moon. Now, I will leave you. Hold on. What is he saying? So far, it's going to be the euro. I am now told I can come home to Europe in spirit. That's good. So far, it's euro. People are moving to euros. Your cat is acting like something energy-wise is bothering him. No, the energy is the cat outside. My outdoor cat terrorizes him, and he's sitting right out there. And he's locked in the room. Hold on, I'm going to let him out. All right, you go. You go. You go. You go. 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 Ciao. Bye. 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 Okay. Yeah, the cat outside terrorizes him, so that's why he's all over the place. I pulled this card for my Patreon, so I am going, no, they're mortal enemies. They hate each other. They just absolutely hate each other. Hence why the cat outside is an outside cat. He doesn't get along with anybody. He gets along with dogs better. And my indoor cat, when he was outside, didn't get along with him. But the indoor cat does not go outside anymore. It had a broken leg, so his days of climbing trees and whatnot are over. But he hangs out in my mother's room all day. He likes my mom. But no, they're mortal enemies. They hate each other. But anyway, what I was saying was I drew a card for my Patreons. I drew a lot of cards today for them, but I always share the oracle card that was drawn. And some of the cards that came out kind of make sense because of the times we're in financially. But we drew the card Appreciation. I don't know if you could see that card. But this card shows a woman holding a single rose. She enjoys the scent and beauty of the single bloom. Yet around and behind her are bramble bushes that she could be focusing on these. Worried that she might get caught up in their prickly branches of difficulty. Instead, she's pausing to experience the blessing of this single rose. Well, that's a horrible glare there. There, that's better. If you see closely, she's admiring that single one rose in her hand. And the sun is breaking through the clouds, shining on her choice and in the tiny buds waiting to open up. This card upright is telling you that you have much to be grateful for. And like the flowering bush behind the woman on the card, there is more to come that you cannot yet see. Congratulate yourself for every moment that you choose appreciation. This decision shifts with consciousness from lack of value, and it's guaranteed to bring more worth and richness of life into your life. So what this card is really insinuating is being thankful and grateful for the things that you have, um, over what we want. Sometimes we have to accept what we need more than what we want. And the affirmation here, and you can light a candle if you'd like for this affirmation, is I choose to see and appreciate the beauty and value around me. I increase my gratitude every day, and I am attracting even more to be grateful for. Amen. So mote it be. Blessed be. Whatever you end your prayers with will be suffice. But yes, these 2 weeks should be interesting, especially financial wise. Now, um, I because I run a finance page on my Patreon, I do know that what the future holds, and it's not any kind of, it's not the euro, it's not the American dollar, it's Bitcoin. That's the future. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, copper, and real estate, if you can afford it. Those are the commodities that will make you the money. The American dollar is dying, and they're not, banks are in trouble, and they're not going to tell you that. They're keeping that hush hush. And I'm watching it, I'm seeing it unfold with some of the biggest companies buying trillions of dollars in Bitcoin. There's a reason for that. There's a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And even he is stating that these banks are not doing well. Banks and many businesses will undergo failure due to, exactly, and due to the tariffs. Now there are some people in the finance world that think the tariffs are great. And if you're a billionaire and you know how to profit off of them, because there is a way to profit off of people losing their money. I don't know how to do it, but the higher ups do. Um, there are some that are saying it's good for their business, but that's not the majority. That's the 1% saying that. The majority are suffering and struggling. The banks and many businesses, okay. Yes, through arbitrage. I don't want to know how. I'm sure you can, but I think it's immoral. It's just awful what they're doing. But I can look into the future with my software, and you haven't seen anything yet. It is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Um, the next dragon that comes is going to happen July 27th, 2026. That's the next shift. We're right now in a Pisces Virgo energy. The next one is a Aquarius Leo energy. Now, the United States is born July 4th, 1776. Its sun is in Cancer, but its natal dragon's head is in Leo and the tail is in Aquarius. I wish I had the United States' chart in front of me, but I don't. Anyway, the tail sits in Aquarius in the 8th house. This is, what does Aquarius rule? UFOs, ETs, science. This is why the United States has been so secretive with UFOs and so abusive with it. Its tail sits right in the house of death, Nagasaki, Hiroshima. That doesn't mean that our turn isn't coming. I'm trying to say this as tactfully as I can. The next dragon that hits is in complete reverse opposite of what the United States was born with. The United States was born with a dragon's head in Leo and the tail in Aquarius. And the head of that dragon sits in the United States' second house of wealth and money, finances. At one time, we were the kings. We're not going back to those days if we continue on this path. That isn't going to happen. But some of you have to have that FAFO moment and learn the hard lessons. However, that next dragon that comes, the tail sits on the United States' house of wealth, which means no wealth. There'll be the very rich and the very poor. The middle class are gone. This is phase one is to eliminate the middle class, and we're in it right now. There's a movie. It's more of a documentary, in my opinion, than a movie. It's on, I think it's on Hulu or Netflix. It's called 2073. And there's a moral to that story, because in the end, she says, I was all alone. Perhaps if I had people with me and they could help, we could have stopped this. Go watch the movie and tell me what you think. The world will be trading around the United States. We will be left, exactly. That's exactly it. Because we have an administration who even lied to the crypto community. As someone who's into crypto, not that I voted for him, but what did he do? All he did is create a meme coin of his own, financed by Solana, and he's profiting off that. No one else really is. I wouldn't buy his meme coin. I don't really think meme coins are a good investment. I've dabbled in them a little bit, but I kind of stick to the heavy hitters: Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. That's what I'm heavily invested in. But yeah, we're going to get left behind. We're becoming a third world country with all the tariffs. And now I think we're getting rid of habeas corpus. Yeah, go watch that movie, 2073. I hope to God that's not the future. I will be long gone, because I don't think I'll be living till 103. Yep, I mean, they are garbage. I agree. I made a little money on them, but when I say a little money, I'm talking like 50 bucks here, 25 bucks there. That's like a little money. I didn't make a whole lot of money on them. All of my stuff, though, is off the exchanges. I don't keep any of it on the exchanges because it's like my retirement. So anyway, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful full moon. Christopher, it was wonderful seeing you. I am not really on Facebook much anymore. I go on once a week and check in, usually on the weekends. But I've been kind of shadow banned from Facebook. Could be for my Palestinian flag I had up a few months ago. You know, I mean, come on. The Zuck is a Zio. Zuck is a Zio. So there's that. What else was I going to say? That's funny. It's like watching two grumpy old men argue. Anyway, thanks for tuning, everybody. And all of you out there, I'm wishing you all a blessed Mother's Day. I'm going to go and enjoy. My kids just brought home Mexican food, so I'm going to have a nice Mexican dinner with my kids. And I'll try and get back on here this week sometime. Probably midweek, we'll get back on here. Let's see what happens in the news. Trump is going overseas, which if I was his astrologer, I would advise him not to do that. But I'm not, so good luck. But yeah, he's going to the Middle East, isn't he? Isn't he going to Israel? Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, not the best time to do any traveling, especially when his unlucky dragon days kind of fall on the back end of the Platonic phase. But yeah, he'll make headlines too in some way. I don't know how, but he will. But Christopher, it's so nice to see you. I miss you. Yes, and Uranus, oh my God, that is absolutely right, sir. Uranus will be right on his birth sign. And Jupiter will be leaving his birth sign and moving to his second house. So what, even if he I don't know how to put this. There's a lot of strange things going on, like his wife's stars, the tail sitting in her second house of health and service to the world. That Jupiter is my most dominant planet too, and it's because they're in Scorpio. You and I both have that same placement. That's why I say you're my brother from another mother, except you're Aquarius and I'm Capricorn, and you have a Cancer moon and I have a Sagittarian moon. But yes, yes, should be some it. Yeah, it should be interesting. Very, very interesting what goes on. Yeah, his birthday should be interesting too. Birthday, Grace. Hey, Donald Trump has the same birthday as Grace Kelly. Okay, okay, okay. I would say no, that can't be. Okay, anyway, my dinner's getting cold, so I am going to head on out of here. All of you out there have a blessed full moon. Make that moon water. Christopher, good to see you, my friend. And all of you out there, be safe. If the news gets to be too much, turn it off. Okay? Just turn it off. Ciao. Bye. Bye, Christopher.